First question is the property due to which a metal piece can be hammered into thin sheets is known as malleability. Metals are malleable because they can be beaten into thin sheets. Next, bronze is an alloy of copper and tin. Children, you will never confuse in bronze and brass. Brass is an alloy of copper and zinc, and bronze is an alloy of copper and tin. Next, gold is mixed with dash and dash to make it hard. While making jewelry, we mix gold with copper and silver to make it hard. So you have to fill copper and silver. Next, dash is the only non-metal to have a natural luster. You have to write diamond. Children, diamond is not a non-metal. It is an allotrope of carbon. Allotrope means the two forms of an element which have different physical properties but similar chemical properties are called allotropes. So, graphite and diamond are the allotropes of carbon. Diamond is the hardest non-substance, whereas graphite is very soft. So in this you have to write diamond is the only non-metal to have a natural luster. It has a natural luster
Ma'am,
also, so it
iodine.
is used to make jewelry. Next, dash is a non-metal which catches fire in air. Phosphorus is a non-metal which catches fire in air. So it is kept in water. Next,
Excuse me.
question number A6. The only metal which exists in the liquid state at room temperature is mercury. Now, question number B. Match the following. Hardest substance is diamond, aluminium ore. You know children, bauxite is an ore of aluminium, so you have to match it with bauxite. Third, a non-metal normally existing in the liquid state, it is bromine. You know children, there are 22 non-metals and out of these 22 non-metals, some are solid, some are liquid and some are in gaseous state. So bromine is the only non-metal that exists in the liquid state. Next, a good electrical conductor. All of you know graphite is a form of carbon. Carbon is a non-metal, but it is good conductor of electricity. So you have to match it with graphite. A good electrical conductor, it is graphite. Next, a metalloid. You have to match it with arsenic. Metalloids are the elements which show some property of metals and some property of non-metals. Okay? They show the properties of metals as well as non-metals like arsenic, germanium, silicon, etc. So here you have to match this metalloid with arsenic. Now question number C. Take the correct option. The two most abundant metals found in the Earth's crust are aluminium and iron. Aluminium and iron. Next, question number C2. The metals used in making the alloy German silver are copper, zinc and nickel. Next question. When a metal reacts with oxygen, the resulting oxide of the metal, you know children, metal reacts with oxygen to form metallic oxide and metallic oxide reacts with water to form hydroxide base. So metallic oxides are basic in nature. You know that a base can turn red litmus paper to blue litmus paper. So correct option is resulting oxide of the metal is a basic oxide. Correct answer is basic oxide. Next, out of the metals, gold, silver, copper and aluminium, the ones that is most ductile is, all of you should know, gold, silver, aluminium, copper. The most ductile metal is gold. Okay? Gold is the most ductile metal. All of you have learned physical properties of metals and non-metals.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So you have written gold is the most ductile metal.
Yes,
Next
ma'am.
question.
Yes, ma'am.
Two of the metals that cannot be stored either in air or underwater are sodium and magnesium, magnesium and calcium, calcium and potassium, potassium and sodium. Last option is correct. Potassium and sodium cannot be stored either in air or underwater because they are highly reactive. They will react with air or they will react with water. So they are stored in kerosene. You know children, sodium and potassium are highly reactive metals. If they will be kept in air, they may react with oxygen, and if they will be stored in water, they may react with water. So they are kept in kerosene or paraffin wax. So correct option is potassium and sodium. Last option. Now question number D1. Name one metal and one non-metal which normally exists in the liquid state. You have read children, metal may exist as solid, liquid, okay? And you have seen generally mostly metals are solid at room temperature like copper, silver, gold, but exception is there. Mercury is a metal but it is liquid at room temperature. So in metal you have to write mercury, and one non-metal which exists in the liquid state is bromine. Answer is mercury and bromine. Mercury is a metal and bromine is a non-metal. Next, state the fraction of gold present in an 18 karat gold piece. Children, you know 24 karat gold is the pure form of the gold. So in 18 karat gold means rest carat is either of copper or of silver. So rest part, how many parts? 6 parts.
Six parts.
6 parts are of either copper or silver. And in fraction you can write, it will be, you can calculate it. I had discussed while I had taken your class. Okay. Now, next is question number D3. State the property of copper wires that makes them useful for electrical fitting. All of you know children, copper is a good conductor of electricity. Okay. It shows which conductivity? Electrical conductivity property. Due to this electrical conductivity property, copper wires are useful for electrical fittings. Okay. Now, next question is define an alloy. An alloy is a homogeneous mixture of two or more metals or metals and non-metals. Okay children, you know what is homogeneous and what is heterogeneous mixture? If you take a glass of water and add 1 tablespoon of salt in it, you stir it. You get a mixture in which you cannot see salt and water separately. Okay, it is homogeneous mixture. Now you take a glass of water and you add 1 spoon of sand in it. You stir it. You get a mixture of water and sand in which components can be seen separately. You can see sand and water separately. This mixture is heterogeneous mixture. So alloy is a homogeneous mixture of 2 or more metals or metals and non-metals. Like if you see stainless steel, it is an alloy of iron, chromium and nickel. Similarly, you can see many alloys like duralumin is an alloy of copper, aluminium, magnesium, manganese. Stainless steel is also an alloy. Steel is also an alloy of iron and carbon. So alloys are homogeneous mixture of 2 or more metals or metals and non-metals. You can give some examples like steel, stainless steel, duralumin, etc. Now you will say, next question is, list any 2 uses of non-metals. All of you know the name of non-metals like carbon, sulfur, phosphorus, iodine, oxygen, nitrogen, all these are non-metals. So you can write use of any 2 non-metal. Like if you write phosphorus, it is used in matchbox industry. If you write nitrogen, it is used to make fertilizer. If you write oxygen, it is used for burning and for breathing also. If you write carbon, you can write diamond and graphite. Diamond is the hardest known substance that is used for making jewelry, for cutting the tools. Graphite is also used in making the battery. So you can write any 2 usage of non-metals. Next question, E1. Write the balanced chemical equation for the following reactions. Sodium reacts with oxygen. You can write sodium reacts with oxygen to form sodium oxide. Reaction you can write Na plus O2. It will form Na2O. You can balance it. At the end, I will write it on the blackboard. Next is aluminium reacts with dilute hydrochloric acid. Al, aluminium plus hydrochloric acid, HCl. It will form AlCl3. Okay, just now I am writing it on the blackboard. First is sodium reacts with oxygen. Sodium and reacts with oxygen, it will form sodium oxide, Na2O. Now you can balance it, oxygen to sodium O. Here to be write sodium, oxygen, sodium oxide. Similarly, you can write aluminium reacts with dilute hydrochloric acid. Aluminium reacts with dilute hydrochloric acid. It will form aluminium chloride plus hydrogen. Aluminium is metal, it reacts with acid to form salt and hydrogen gas is released. So you can balance it. 6 hydrogen, Cl6, 2 3 are 6, aluminium 2, here you can write 2, here you write aluminium. Here you will write hydrochloric acid. Here you will write aluminium chloride. Here you will write hydrogen. Okay. Besides that, you can write physical state. If something is in solid state, you can write solid. If it is in gaseous state, you can write gas. If it is in solid state, you can write solid. Similarly, here you can write aluminium. It is solid. HCl is liquid, and AlCl3 it is salt, and hydrogen is gas. Okay. So you can mention the physical state in the chemical reaction. Now, the next question is, why are gold and platinum suitable for making jewelry? Gold and platinum are noble metals. They do not react with acid, base, oxygen, water, or any other substance present around them. They are not chemically affected, and they do not lose their luster. They retain their luster for a longer time, and they are highly malleable and highly ductile. So they are used for making jewelry. Okay. Gold and platinum are least reactive metal. They do not react with any substance present around them. They retain their luster for a longer time. They are highly malleable and highly ductile. So they are used for making jewelry. Next question is, sodium and potassium is stored under kerosene. Give reason. Children, as you know, sodium and potassium are highly reactive metals. All of you have memorized reactivity series, in which you have seen that the most reactive metal is at the top, and in this series, these metals are arranged according to their reactivity. Elements are arranged according to their reactivity. The most reactive metal is potassium, followed by sodium, and the least reactive metal is platinum. So you have seen that sodium and potassium both are highly reactive metals. If they will be kept in air, they may react with oxygen even at room temperature. And if they will be kept in water, then they will react with water vigorously. So they are stored in kerosene or paraffin wax. Next question is E4. Why is bronze preferred over copper metal for making statues? Children, you know that bronze is an alloy of copper and tin, and copper is a metal, and you have read that alloys are better than metals because they are harder, stronger, and corrosion resistant, and they are durable also. Therefore, bronze is preferred over copper for making statues, because this bronze will be stronger, harder, and corrosion resistant. Now, one question is value-based question. The chemistry teacher, while teaching her students, explained to them the differences between metals and non-metals. She told them that both of them react with the same gas, oxygen, but their resulting oxides are opposite in nature. You have read that metals react with oxygen to form metallic oxide, and metallic oxides react with water to form base. So metallic oxides are basic in nature, whereas non-metals react with oxygen to form non-metallic oxide, and non-metallic oxides react with water to form acid. So non-metallic oxides are acidic in nature. So metals and non-metals have opposite nature. Now, she then went on to say that in a somewhat similar way, we could use our stay in the school either first to gain knowledge, learn good manners, and develop and tone up different skills, or to indulge in idle gossip and other frivolous and irrelevant activities. Now, state two of the values that the teacher conveyed to her students. Children, in school, you can make your character, you can make your, you can inculcate good habits. It is up to you. If you want to learn